I never imagined that a single decision could turn my life upside down, writing a new, unfamiliar chapter in a story I thought I had already penned. The judge froze my accounts. Just like that, years of building power and fortune, of crafting a legacy, vanished in the blink of an eye. My carefully constructed empire crumbling before me. I am Eleanor Sinclair, a name synonymous with grandeur and wealth, a brand that stood as a testament to struggle, ambition, and finally, prosperity. I have spent decades thoughtfully crafting my empire, a sprawling holding company worth billions, its roots stretching across continents and industries, from innovative tech to hospitality and beyond. Born into privilege, I inherited a legacy steeped in industrial achievement, handed down by my father, a titan of finance who deftly navigated the turbulent waters of commerce and created a lineage defined by success. Our estate in the Hamptons spanned 20 sprawling acres of manicured lawns, the lush greenery framing breathtaking views of the undulating Atlantic, a realm where dreams mingled with reality. Wealth was my birthright, but such a foundation came hand in hand with the immense expectations etched into my very being. By my 50s, my fortune ballooned, exceeding an opulent $1.5 billion, a figure that bore witness to my sacrifice and determination. My life shimmered in tones of glamour, lavish galas adorned with twinkling chandeliers, with tables laden with silent auctions filled with Picassos and Monets representing decades of achievement, and meetings held with international investors in tailored suits. Each person I encountered would secretly hold their breath at the sight of my diamond ring, an astonishing $12 million symbolizing a wealth and power that evoked respect and envy. With wealth came a unique brand of power, a force that ignited a fire within me each time I deftly navigated the complex, often treacherous world of high finance. I operated with the precision of a chess player, each move carefully considered and meticulously executed. Years of experience cultivated my intuition, honing it until it was unshakable, growing from a formidable understanding of trust within my personal and professional relationships. Yet, the very roots of that trust would soon unravel in a manner I couldn't have foreseen. The day the simmering tensions within my family erupted into full view will forever be etched in my mind, punctuated by the tragedy of lost connections. It was during a lavish family dinner, an opulent spread laid out with the finest crystal and china artfully arranged, when the room was delicately rich with an unsettling undercurrent of whispered jealousy and unquenched ambition. My son, Alexander, who had always seemed to ghost my achievements, began to convey his bemusement regarding my decisions, the suppressed resentment bubbling to the surface like a boiling pot. His dissatisfaction dripped like hot wax in a candle, tainting the air around us. I dismissed his concerns with a wave of my hand, naively believing that being a successful woman would surely instill pride rather than provoke discontent and envy within my own family. Yet, a storm was brewing beneath the facade of our seemingly perfect life, ready to burst forth and engulf us whole. I had entrusted my financial dealings to a close friend, Margaret, a woman whose laughter once echoed through my home and whose secrets held weight like shared burdens. Built on shared dreams and aspirations, flourishing under the soft glow of candlelight, her presence in my life promised stability in my otherwise tumultuous journey. I felt completely at ease with her, blissfully oblivious to the disarray and destruction encroaching upon my world like an insidious fog. With my charity gala looming on the horizon, a night I anticipated would yield millions for causes I held dear and close to my heart, my misplaced trust in Margaret turned out to be a fatal miscalculation that would carve devastating consequences in my life. One fateful morning, I descended into my sumptuous office, the familiar fragrance of expensive leather wrapping around me like a warm embrace. I opened my laptop, eager to review the latest account balances, my heart racing at the thought of the figures that would greet me on the screen. A veritable feast of success and prosperity. But as I scanned the numbers, the screen flickered with a mocking indifference and then descended into darkness, leaving a sinking feeling clawing at my gut, a sensation of impending dread coiling tighter around my chest like a serpent constricting its prey. I reached for my phone to call Margaret, but it redirected to voicemail as if the universe conspired to mock my desperation. An unbearable pit of dread formed in my stomach, clawing its way upward through my throat. Anxiety bubbled up, unfurling like a grotesque flower as I drove to the bank, each passing minute deepening my sense of impending doom, as if the very air I breathed thickened with uncertainty. Yet each desperate attempt to withdraw my funds was met with definitive shutdowns, rebuffing me as I fought against the finely tuned rhythm of my meticulously structured life. "Your accounts have been frozen," the bank manager stated, disbelief etched across her face, her voice barely above a whisper, each word carrying the gravity of a devastating storm brewing within me. Mistaken identity, I thought. Surely I had over $300 million in liquid assets. The collision of reality with my expectations began to fracture my understanding, an avalanche of despair crashing down upon me, burying my sense of control beneath layers of treachery. Days passed in agonizing silence, my world spiraling into all-consuming chaos, flailing and fighting like a ship lost at sea amidst torrents of turmoil. The betrayal ran deeper than I had ever anticipated. I unearthed forged documents, signatures manipulated into deceptive facsimiles of what had once been my firm foundation. My heart raced with indignation, confusion twisting like a knife in my gut. I had been betrayed by someone I had considered family, someone who had feasted at my table, who laughed and raised a glass with me during celebratory moments, toasting to our shared visions of success. The spiral of panic unfolded and unfurled more swiftly than I could gather my breath, each new revelation another dagger embedded in my already wounded heart. Turning to my lawyer confirmed my worst fears, fears I had buried beneath the layers of opulence that draped my life like a gilded cloak. Margaret, the woman I trusted more than most, the one I had called my friend, had been siphoning funds from my accounts for years. Years during which I had lived under the blissful delusion of her unyielding loyalty and steadfast friendship. Over $50 million had vanished into the ether, a staggering figure that sent shivers down my spine and warped my perception of the world I thought I knew so intimately. Yet, betrayal birthed consequences, and I refused to be broken. The scandal erupted in my life, like fireworks bursting on the 4th of July, lighting up the night sky with illuminating chaos. News outlets documented the rise and fall of a significant philanthropist and financier, headlining sensational stories bearing titles like "Billionaire's Life in Ruins as Accounts Freeze." I became the reluctant subject of bitter fascination, a cautionary tale of excess and folly, scrutinized and dissected by curious eyes that once admired my accomplishments. Facing the world now meant reclaiming my brand, not merely addressing financial ruin, but embarking on a journey of redemption. I organized a press conference at a luxury hotel in Palm Beach, the venue buzzing with electric anticipation, an almost tangible hum of excitement vibrating in the air like a living organism. Reporters eagerly gathered at the foot of a grand podium, their cameras poised to capture every nuance, each click of the shutter like a cannon shot announcing the beginning of a battle. The tension thickened, hanging in the air around me, the bright lights flashing like champagne bubbles as the onlookers awaited either celebration or catastrophe. Well, today I stand before you, not as a victim, but as a warrior, I declared, injecting fierce resolve into my voice, determined to rise above the noise like a beacon of hope amidst the tumultuous storm that threatened to consume me. I detailed every facet of Margaret's betrayal, laying bare the ways she twisted my trust against me like a cruel puppeteer yanking fraying strings. With each word, a wave of power surged through me, cutting through the oppressive weight of recent weeks. I was ready to fight back, my spirit fueled by indignation, burning brightly with the desire for redemption. In the following weeks, I meticulously documented every suspicious transaction I could trace, uncovering every lie and every deception in relentless pursuit of justice, refusing to allow Margaret's treachery to define the narrative of my fairy tale gone awry. The lessons of vulnerability echoed in my mind, revealing that friendship, especially in my privileged world, can often mask nefarious intentions that seek to lead one to ruin. I understood and embraced the truth that while forgiveness is vital, trust must always be earned, never freely given. Soon enough, my diligent efforts bore fruit. My lawyers procured a court order to unfreeze my accounts, a potent lifting of a dark shroud that had engulfed my existence. In that moment, when I received the news, I felt a flicker of hope ignite within me, a small flame amidst the overwhelming darkness that threatened to engulf my spirit. My access to wealth was restored, a sharp blade of relief that came with its own burden, yet the scars of betrayal lingered like a shadow, dark and foreboding, a reminder indelibly etched in the depths of my psyche. I recognized the imperative to use this experience as a blueprint for my future, a cautionary tale for those who dared to step boldly into the dazzling universe of wealth and power, laden with both promise and peril. My enemies, now mere footnotes in my saga, could not overshadow my resolute determination to rise again, reclaiming what was rightfully mine. With cautious optimism and steely resolve, I bought back my life, my fortune, and my good name, coalescing my mission to rebuild and protect the legacy I had painstakingly crafted through both triumph and tears. The journey ahead promised to be extraordinary, filled with challenges, yet glimmering with the potential for new beginnings. Yet I could not ignore the trials that had led me to this precipice of renewal. With the wisdom of experience coursing through my veins, I grasped a deeper truth: the fragility of our connections, the understanding that while money can erect empires, trust must serve as the firm foundation, the bedrock upon which my life would continue to flourish. As I reflect on this pivotal chapter of my life, I pose a question to you, dear listener. What do our relationships reveal about our truest selves? In a world steeped in opulence, can we navigate the terrains of vulnerability and power without losing our essence in the process? Can we protect ourselves while still allowing others into our lives, and at what cost? The question lingers in the air, clinging to our surroundings like the lingering scent of the finest perfume, a reminder of the complexities we confront within the glittering facade of wealth. And as I stand, resolved and ready to face a future I will shape with my own two hands, I know that this lesson will carve a pathway forward, one paved with caution, fortified with discernment, and illuminated by the unwavering light of my newfound strength. I will thrive again, rising from the ashes with renewed purpose, an indomitable force ready to reclaim my rightful place in a world where power is fused with integrity, an unwavering beacon guiding me through the labyrinth of life's trials and triumphs. As I prepare to weave together the threads of my rebirth, I am fueled by a relentless ache, a fierce desire to learn, grow, and re-enter the fray, fortified by the scars of the past that have transformed me into a resilient phoenix, reborn amidst the ashes of betrayal, ambition, and ultimately, redemption. I will no longer dwell in the shadow of a deceitful friendship. Instead, I will harness the lessons learned to fortify my spirit, weaving trust carefully, crafting the bonds that will carry me into whichever golden horizon my aspirations may guide me. Together with each companion I choose, I will build a network of unwavering allegiance that thrives not just on mutual benefit, but on genuine connection and shared vision of a brighter future, one where integrity reigns supreme over deceit in the vast arena of business and life. So, as I embark upon this formidable journey, a tapestry rich with countless narratives unfolds, the rich colors of my past blending with the brilliant hues of my future. The battles to be faced ahead will be many, each moment shimmering with the potential for transformation. I am Eleanor Sinclair, forged anew, rising triumphantly with my heart ablaze, ready to imprint my legacy once more upon the fabric of this world. A living testament to resilience, unyielding strength, and the unbreakable spirit of a woman who stood tall against the storm, turned the tides of betrayal into the winds of victory, and charted her destiny in the name of love, ambition, and ultimately, boundless perseverance.